Okay, so as we keep moving through, let's go on to graphing. So the easiest way that you would ever be asked to graph an equation, if they just give you the intercepts, uh, all we need to do, so the x-intercept, where this line is going to touch the x-axis is -5, where it touches the y-axis is -4, and then just a matter of connecting the two intercepts. Next up, this is in slope-intercept form, right? Keep in mind, so slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, and then the last number that doesn't touch the x, that's the y-intercept. So this is actually a pretty easy way to graph as well. So the y-intercept here is -1, so you put a point on -1, and then the slope, where it doesn't appear to be a number, right, we should recognize the slope here equals -1, and to make that a fraction we can do -1/1. So we'll go from the y-intercept, right, you go down 1 over 1. And if you want a few points, just keep going down 1 over 1, and we can connect those points to get this equation. So I'm going to slide right down to 23. We'll just kind of go around this. And there's a method to my madness, just because 22 is a little bit different. But 23 again is in slope-intercept form, but you can see there's nothing added here at the end. And what we can pretend like is being added is if we did like a +0, which tells us that the y-intercept is right there at the origin. And then from there we'll go up 1, forward 4 to get our second point, and then connect those two big points, and we get our line y equals 1/4 x. Now 22 is a little bit different because it's x equals a number, and if you remember, x equals a number, and we could also have y equals a number, which is, we haven't seen that on this sheet either. But if it's just a number, those are two special kinds of lines. So if it's just x equals a number, remember that's a vertical line. If it's y equals a number, that's a horizontal line. So since this is x equals -4, we're just going to go on the x-axis to -4. And then from there, we can't get a second point, but we need to be able to recognize, well, that's not on the line at all. Let me try that again. What we need to recognize, what we should be recognizing, for whatever reason, this does not want to draw the line where I'm putting it, but I'm going to draw kind of a sloppy one by hand. But there's x equals -4, a vertical line. Right? We could also do inequalities with this, much the same way, except remember we need to first decide, is it dashed or dotted. Remember, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, that's a solid line. And then if there's no line underneath it, it's a dashed line. All right, so here we go to 3, and then up 1, over 1, 2, 3, 4. And since this has the line underneath, right, that's going to be a solid line. So we'll go ahead and draw our solid line here. And then it's time to decide whether we're going to shade above or below. This is greater than, which we're just going to let common sense dictate what we're going to do, so that means we're going to shade above. Remember also, greater than here, those are greater than. And then if the arrow points to the left, that's less than. So there's a quick reminder on when to recognize greater than versus less than. Okay, and then number 25, the other kind of graphing one here for us, we're going to go to 1, and there's a negative slope, so we're going to go down 1, forward 2, and since this doesn't have the line underneath, it's going to be a dashed line. And that is pointing to the left, so that is less than, which means we're now going to shade below.